entertainment, relationships, art, culture. If it's happening to or around us, let's talk about it. My name is Qamil, your host, and I'd like to welcome you to the Soul Dope Show. Welcome to the Soul Dope Show. I am your host, Qamil. Today, I am doing something very special and having the founder of the Old Town East Jazz Festival come on to do an event spotlight. She's going to tell us about the history of the event and what we can expect at this year's festival. Join me in welcoming Selina Dawkins to the Soul Dope Show. Hey, bells and whistles. Thanks. How are you feeling? How are you?
Oh, I'm good, thank you. I mean, no rest for the weary here. Putting on a festival is a lot of work.
I just did my first one last fall at R&B festival. So yeah,
Congratulations.
thank you. So I'm excited to talk to another Black woman who is ahead of me at the game doing this. So solidarity because it is absolutely crazy and you do so much with this festival. So I'm going to jump right in. We're going to talk about the Old Town East Jazz Festival. And I want to start off with having you just introduce yourself a little bit. I've already introduced you as the founder, but anything else you want to add to that and your background before we get into the history of the festival?
Well, let's see. Obviously, named Selina Dawkins. Been residing here in Ohio for 23 years. Old Town East area for the past 15 years. Hence the Old Town East Jazz Festival. I am a classically trained pianist and vocalist, so I trained singing opera and taught music for 30 plus years as well, in private setting and also in a school setting as well. And musician that plays several other instruments. So I play the piano, I play the drums, the violin, the bass.
So cool.
So yeah, I get it in.
Yes, you did. That's so cool. Like I'm still like, I think I want to learn piano. And you're like, I play all of that and plus so many more things.
Yeah.
What inspired you to start the jazz festival?
Well, actually, it came out of a trying experience, so and challenging experience. I had just been come out from the hospital from COVID in 2020. Um, fighting for my life with that,
Yeah.
and then not too long after that, my car got shot up. and um, and
Lord.
then as soon as my car got fixed, I ended up in a car accident.
Oh my God.
That left me disabled. And so going through that challenge of having to relearn how to walk, dealing with a brain injury, physical injuries as well, I was pretty much kind of told that, you need to kind of focus on healing, and they didn't see working anytime too soon in my future. The doctors were telling me,
Mhm.
and eventually, after a few years of therapy, and I felt like I needed something to do, and one of the things I kept doing, even though I was in the hospital, even though I couldn't walk, was music. And music kept me going through all of that time.
Amen.
My music teacher, even when I was in the hospital, he came into the hospital and we were still doing music lessons. And I would tell my nurses, hey, just let the other patients know that there's going to be some noise going on. I was at OSU East, right?
Yeah.
Straight from my hospital bed. And he'd bring his little keyboard. And, I said, well, I can't, I'm not able to play anything, but I still have a mouth. I can sing. So,
Mm.
I took up singing. And so that's kind of how it started. And I guess just felt like that was the right calling for me at that time because of the fact that music is healing as well. It's transcending. It reaches so many people,
Mm.
and my love for jazz. So
Yeah.
that's how I kind of got started. The last piece to that was a dear friend of mine who is has a radio station in Detroit was advertising about a jazz festival for one of the local artists there that I was familiar with because I was previously in the Detroit, Michigan area before I came here to Ohio,
Mhm.
and um and I was like, wow, she's got her own jazz festival. And I just started having visions and I just started having,
I understand.
seeing people, and I'm like, I just started getting excited about this, and I was like, how am I going to do this with no money?
Oh, yes. How in
Right.
the world? Yes.
Right. But I mean, every day I got up and so you know what? And my favorite scripture is this: faith without works is dead. So I said, regardless of the fact, I don't know how this is going to come together, I'm just going to move forward. So I came up with a name. We're a nonprofit organization, Old Town East Jazz Festival. And, you know what? The next thing I went to do, I followed the steps, went and opened up a bank account because I said, when the money comes in, I need to have it somewhere to go.
Yeah.
And, and I just shot off from there. And we're going into 3 years now.
And when God gives you a vision, and as long as you say, okay, you don't really need to know how. Gonna,
Right.
gonna figure, when it's in alignment, he will, order the steps and make sure that you have what you need to do what he told you to do. As long as we say yes. And it
Right.
don't have to make sense. But I know that feeling like, oh,
Right.
kind
And I'm
thing.
sure you experience this probably. There's many days where you sit there and say, what the heck am I doing this for?
Crazy.
What did I get myself into? And then
Yeah.
you might get that phone call, you may get something a check in the mail or something, just that thing to keep you going, okay, I'm on the right track.
Yep.
So
Yes. Yep. It's amazing. What has been, well, I obviously like trying to think of how to make this all happen, but you're going into, is it the first one was in 2023?
so 2023, and I literally threw that festival together in 2.5 months.
So this will be the third year. What was the most challenging part in getting here and having yourself like telling yourself to keep going? Was there a moment when you were like, no, this is not, or many moments? Yeah,
Yeah,
most challenging.
the first year, because I did it in short period of time in 2.5 months, I really didn't have the time to sit and think about, you know, oh my God, how's this gonna come together? You just had to do it.
Yeah,
And I had some colleagues of mine that I met through, just being a musician here in the Columbus area that I, was talking with, and they just thought it was a great idea, and they came on board to help me, any way that they could.
yeah,
And so that was helpful to me. At the same time, I lost my father. My father passed away as soon as I started planning this. So I literally had to stop what I was doing,
yeah,
go back to Canada, prepare, plan, and everything for my father's funeral. Literally came back here and just jumped right back on the saddle because I thought that's what my father would want me to do.
yeah,
And as challenging as it is, I just keep on going. No matter how many no's I get, I'm like, there's somebody else out there that, and you just keep on going. Because it was a goal for me,
mhm,
initially to do something and not just be sitting around wasting away. That these things have happened to me,
yeah,
and I'm just gonna succumb to it. And I was like, there, I know there's better for me.
yeah. That is so inspiring to me. So the next time that I'm like, I don't know, if you can do it with everything that you have going on, then I don't have no reason to not do.
I did it all from a wheelchair.
Yeah. So thank you for sharing that with me because that really means something as somebody who's trying to figure this out. along the way.
Yep.
Um, so Old Town East, one of the oldest neighborhoods in Columbus. Is that the reason that you picked that area to hone in on, opposed to just doing something jazz fest?
So it kind of starts back to when I found out about this neighborhood. I worked for Glory Foods at the time,
Mhm.
which was headquarters in Old Town East, and that's how I got familiar with it. And one of the main things about Bill Williams when he started Glory Foods was uplifting the neighborhood that he grew up in. The neighborhood was very nostalgic to me as well because it kind of reminded me of the neighborhood I grew up in back in Canada. And I just took a liking to it. But by the same token, working in this neighborhood, I always saw people rummaging through the garbage, homelessness, and so forth. And it always pulled on my heart.
Mhm.
And I always was trying to figure out what is there that I could do as a positive thing that I could do to uplift this neighborhood. I've always kept hearing people saying, "Oh, this neighborhood was a great mecca back in the day,
Mhm.
and one day it's going to come back," And but years had gone by, and it still kind of was still in that struggling phase, and crime was still I wouldn't say rampant, but was still carrying on in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
But I came here, I moved into this neighborhood and embraced it. I started off doing real estate, buying homes and fixing them up. So I buy these derelict type homes,
Yeah.
rundown homes, and it was like my special project. and
Mhm.
and I would fix them up and I'd bring them back to glory. I would have a vision for each home and bring it back to glory, and um, and then sell it and move on to another home. And that's kind of how I started in this neighborhood, and eventually to the home that led me that I'm in now.
Mhm.
That I never left. It was,
That's your neighborhood, girl.
it was a labor of love.
That's where
And,
you're supposed to be.
right.
Where did you
And
grow up in Canada?
I'm sorry, say that again.
Where did you grow up in Canada?
A little town called Windsor, Ontario, is right
Oh,
outside
a very
Detroit.
tiny, unknown
Yeah,
place.
yeah, 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 yeah. And well, originally from the UK,
Oh, okay.
but my parents they dragged us children to Canada and grew up in Windsor and
Yeah.
spent most of my teenage years there. Went to college in Toronto. Lived in Toronto for about 8 years, and then I moved back to Windsor, and then eventually I started working in Detroit, and then eventually kind of made the move over to Michigan, and then which then led me here to Columbus, Ohio.
That's quite a journey. UK, Canada, just
And
everywhere.
my parents are Jamaican. So I just call myself global, right?
Like that has a whole nother area of the map. That's
Yeah.
so cool. Let's see. Okay, so I want to talk about well, the festival as a whole, but the series first because the festival's not first. That's the main event right in the fall, but you have a monthly series leading up to it.
So this year we changed it up a little bit.
Okay.
Each year I like to change it up.
Okay.
So our first year we were 2 days.
Okay.
And then last year we went to 3 days. And we incorporated the Friday night and we had a youth night, which was awesome. Because I'm very much about the youth.
Yeah.
And so we had the 3 nights. So this year, we're still doing the three,
Okay.
but decided to do some smaller events and calling it a jazz series. So have one, which is leading once a month, leading up to the ultimate
So,
3 day festival in
okay.
September. What's nice about our monthly series is we're going to be focusing on different things. So, for example, in August, we're coinciding with the National Night Out. And then one of our big initiatives that we do is back to school supplies for the children.
Mhm.
So we're going to incorporate that with our national night out as well. And of course, with the neighborhood piece too, is bringing in now your law enforcement to come in and speak on community relations, neighborhood relations with law enforcement. So that's going to be a focus as well with the back to school supplies for the children. But we're also providing awesome music again from our
Yeah.
local talent here in the Columbus area. And that is August 5th. Then July 19th, we're doing a special event for our special needs group. So
Oh.
this is our diversity, equity, and inclusion
Mm-hmm.
series. So we've got people that will be performing who are disabled, autistic,
Yeah.
anything that we've had our first year, for example, we had a young lady that came up to sing um, who she's autistic. She doesn't speak, but she will sing.
Wow.
Right. So we
Wow.
asked her to come again this year for now. We've got something special. It's going to be inclusive.
Okay.
It's for them and an inviting and warming, welcoming environment for
Yeah.
them to be able to
Share the
share
joy.
their talents.
Yeah.
Right. The June 21st actually coincides with my birthday.
Yay.
My birthday weekend, because I'm sure you understand planning an
Uh-huh.
event takes everything
Yes.
from all your time. So I said, I'm not missing celebrating my birthday. So we're just going to push it all together so I can still celebrate my birthday, but still get the work done that I need to get.
Yes.
Yeah. With
Perfect.
live music. Now, the great thing about that one is this year we've partnered with Lawrence Alls, which is the original organizer from the Coming Home holiday celebration.
Uh,
And that ended back in, I think, 1997.
mm,
And so this year, our theme is bringing it back home, which is honoring the Coming Home Festival.
that's
And
amazing.
we're going to be recreating that whole line dancing
Uh-huh.
that made it to the Guinness Book of World Records. And so he's come alongside us this year in order to honor him and the other co-founders as well,
Yeah.
and recreate that nostalgia of that um,
Coming home.
1992, where they had the Guinness Book of World Records that they broke with the biggest line dancing.
The coming home was
Um,
the thing. It was a thing. I was too little to go to most of it when I was a kid, but to this day, I still hear about the coming home. So
yes.
that is
So
incredible.
so so yeah. So this year we are honoring them, and they will be at the festival in September, and have him come out to one of the monthly events that we're doing there, and to talk about the impact it had, particularly in the Mount Vernon area, and bringing back everybody together, and just that positive,
Yeah,
uplifting environment.
yeah, fun and family and friends and just
Exactly. So
time.
we're going to have big whiz. We're going to have spades table.
Yes.
We've got double dutch going on. So
Yeah,
yeah.
that's so amazing. So that'll be okay. So the main event, the big thing, that's September. What are the dates for that one?
So that's September 12th through the 14th at Blackburn Park.
Okay.
That's where we have been located including this year, 3 years, nestled right in the crux of Old Town East. And we've got some great things lined up this year. So, like I mentioned, with the Coming Home, honoring the Coming Home Festival, we have a celebrity
Mhm.
jam session going on
Okay.
Friday evening. I'm not giving away who the celebrity is yet. Okay. But Columbus artists will have the opportunity to sit in and play with celebrity musicians, which will be great. And a
That's
great experience for them as well. We've got the brunch for the homeless shelter. The men's homeless shelter is called Friends of the Homeless.
okay.
That's located right there at the corner of Carpenter and Main Street.
Okay.
And so this is our community piece that we do.
Hmm.
We are a community event. So we're doing a brunch for the homeless as well. We have community partners, like we partner with Mid Ohio Food Collective. We gave away food to needy families, 100 families last year. Like I said, we do the back to school
Hmm.
supplies as
Yeah.
well. We have impact that's there on staff, with the children's activities that go on,
Hmm.
and are there to help with resources in terms of, they do the rent assistance and the home mortgage and utilities and so forth. We have speakers that come to speak about mental health. That's very important and near and dear to me. So last year we focused on men's mental health. This year we got Mary Haven, a representative coming from there that's going to be talking about behavioral health. We have St. Vincent's that partners with us. So it's just an exciting time. So to me, our festival is not just great entertainment because we bring in international acts
Yeah.
from all over. Um, but it's also making it a festival that brings people together, sparks community engagement, and that we're not just feeding the soul from just a music perspective, but we're trying to meet the needs as well of the community and the residents of this area and surrounding area.
Yeah, you're out here doing music and service and marrying them. And that is a beautiful thing and it's for everybody. So, are all the artists booked? Because artists may want to be watching this and they want to know if they can reach out, if they need more people. And if so, how do they get in contact with you?
So yes, we do. I start very early because I'm pretty much a skeleton crew.
Mhm.
So, and that part is actually the easiest part for me to do is booking the act,
Yep.
right? We're always looking for new talent. We're my skeleton crew that we have. We're always going out to different venues, scouting out new talent as well. Um, we are booked for 2025. That was done as soon as as soon as the festival is over last year. We have to start planning for the following year. And I
Yeah.
also want to, I don't, I would be remiss not to mention the support that we get from our sponsors, DS Healthcare Solutions, Music Go Round, Kemba Bank, Reggie Ware, the Greater Columbus Arts Council. They're a huge supporter of us for grants. The City Council is a huge supporter for us as well, and Parks and Rec. So I'd be remiss that if I didn't mention them. I've mentioned the Mid Ohio Food Collective as well.
Absolutely.
And yeah, they partner with us. And Home Two Suites, they work with us with the hotels. DPI Graphics does all our posters, flyers, designs,
Look at God.
logos.
See, you didn't know how you're going to make any of this happen. And look at all of these people that are there to help.
Right. So
That's
that's why I have
incredible.
to mention them because I would be
Yeah.
remiss not to, because if it wasn't support of those folks and our private donors, this would not happen. Right. So
What a
you know
blessing.
what? Yes. And it's taken some time to get there, and we're continuing to build from there. We got some new sponsors coming on board that I'm excited about this year. So I'm happy about that. And it's just you just got to keep plugging away at it. Now, coming back to your original
To the
question.
artists, yes, who
Okay,
maybe want to be booked for next year.
check us out now. All right, we've got our Facebook page, Old Town East Jazz Festival.
Mhm.
You can reach us there. You can reach us by email at otejazzfest@gmail.com. Then we're on Instagram as well, OTE Jazz Fest 614. We're on TikTok, OTE Jazz Fest 614. I've got to
Everywhere.
give a shout out to a family member who's handling all the social media for me,
That's a lot.
because
Yeah.
she's doing a wonderful job. I thank her for that, because me trying to manage it, she said it was. No,
No,
it was
no,
when you've got to
no. Yeah,
be the head cook and bottle washer, okay?
yeah, yeah. But you know, you'd be willing to do it, but that doesn't mean you should do it.
Right. I mean, I do the financials, I do the booking, I
Yeah,
do right. So, and I pretty much, that's how it is. And,
yeah,
but I can't complain because I'm passionate about what I do.
Absolutely.
Reach out to us at 614-446-1147. And I'm sure, as you understand, this has something that I thought I just needed to do, just needed a goal to do, has opened so many doors for me. And I've met so many wonderful people along this journey. And just to see the love and support, even from the artists that I've now met and formed friendships with, and just love what we're doing. And I'm just thankful and grateful.
Yeah. Now, are you accepting vendors?
Absolutely. I was going to say that next, but we
Yeah.
are accepting vendors.
Okay.
We're looking for about 5 more food trucks,
Okay.
um, because even though we're new and we don't have thousands upon thousands of an audience member, but we do pretty
People still
good.
going to eat.
Yes, our audience loves to eat. Our vendors have sold out for the past 2 years.
That's amazing.
And part of it too is because where we're located. So it's in the neighborhood. So you've got people who are sitting on their porch listening, and or
Mhm.
they walk down to the food truck and then go back to
Smell
their
some
porch and sit back.
barbecue. Yeah.
Right. You've got people coming in out through the park, and they're
Mhm.
like, oh, let's stop and grab something to eat. And so yeah, it's so we're looking for 5 more food trucks. Definitely vendors, boutique vendors, retail vendors as well.
Okay.
And that it's very reasonable. So reach out to us about, we have like a 3-day package.
Okay.
So yeah.
Okay. I think that's everything. All the key things that people need to know. Is there anything that you want to add
Oh,
to close out here?
our website, otejazz.com.
Yes, that's important. So, whatever section that you're interested in, if it's performing next year, reading about the history, seeing who's running things, whatever it may be, maybe start there.
Correct.
otejazz.com. And I'm sure that'll link you to all the social medias, or just press rewind and write the things down. Follow the Jazz Fest, OTE Jazz Fest to be specific, and just really support, because there's a lot to support. It's a lot of good, beautiful things going on, and I'm very excited. I don't know which part I'm gonna be at, but I'll be at something. There's
Yes.
something
Well,
just
you definitely need to come out to our since you sing our jam session night, our
yeah.
celebrity jam session. So
Wait, is that
um
one on? That's in September.
that's in September. That's
Okay.
the Friday night. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. That sounds like my vibe. I want to see the other things too, but okay. That sounds good.
Well, I'm gonna, bring your chair and come up, just pull up and
Yeah.
camp out
Hang
the
out.
whole weekend. I'm telling you, this year we have got all 3 days stacked. You do not want to miss it.
Yeah.
I'll be performing on Saturday afternoon.
Yay.
Oh, and the other thing that I like to mention too is that we showcase a brand new band every year.
Mhm.
So we give opportunities to bands who don't even have the opportunity to play on the main stage. Currently a lot of the festivals that are in the Columbus area, and we open up our stage for brand new bands. So we do look out and scout new bands.
Mhm.
So it gives them exposure
Okay.
and an experience playing on a main stage as
Yeah.
well.
Are
So
you accepting volunteers? Do you need volunteers?
absolutely, we
I'm
always need volunteers.
like, that sounds like a lot. Okay, so same way, go to the website and reach out from there.
Yes, that's
People like to
correct.
volunteer. Okay.
Yeah, we have volunteers in all areas. So,
Okay.
um, we've picked up some volunteers along the way that just come and they're like, we just love what you're doing. How can we help? We've had people Google and find us, Google and find us on there, and they've donated. And
Oh,
we had a company that donated the book supplies last year. They were just trying to find somewhere for
yeah.
Old Town East, and they found us. And so, yeah, interesting, very interesting. But but exciting.
Yeah, so well, I'm very excited and I'm very inspired by the way you have expanded an idea and turned it from, a couple days to this whole thing that really goes over months and months and months. Like, I hope that you have taken moments to be like, yeah, I did that. Like, I'm doing this, you
I
know.
don't, oddly
Yeah.
enough, well, I started off doing little events in my home. That's kind of how it spurred off from there. I have a, studio in my home,
Hmm.
and I had this patio put in the backyard because I just had this vision of having live music in my backyard.
Yeah.
And so I started doing that, and I had all the equipment already. So it was just people, I just started calling musicians, hey, come on over, doing a little, and I would do it like on holiday weekends. And that's how it kind of started and just, until it just blossomed into this. And it
Yeah.
was supposed to be one day, it was supposed to be 2 days, right? Because I didn't want to bite off more than what I could chew. But I was um I was helping another friend of mine who was actually doing the Coming Home Festival,
Hmm.
which was a spin-off from the it was Bringing It Back Home was a spin-off from the Coming Home. And when they decided to close off the focal point at Mount Vernon area, I felt kind of bad for him. And I was like, he's the one that kind of brought the community piece into it,
Hmm.
because he wanted to do the back to school supplies. So I said to him, well, hey, look, why don't you come over this, this side,
Here. Yeah.
and we'll add an extra day. And then this will give us the day to do the community things that you want to do. So that's how it kind of got incorporated.
Yeah.
And but like I said, mental health, because that's something that I had very much of a challenge with, particularly after the car accident, and ended up with a neurological disorder. And so it is very important to me because of that. It's something that I experienced during that time, still continue to. And so I want to make sure that there's services that are offered there to people, particularly after the COVID thing happened and people being locked up in their home and losing their jobs and everything. And not having support. I don't have any family here or anything like that. So it was challenging.
Yeah.
And I want people to know, what? It's okay to seek help, professional help. There's nothing wrong with it. And particularly in the Black and Brown communities, there is like the stigma about it. And I want people to know it's okay.
Yep.
And it's okay to not feel okay. And there's help.
Yes. Yes.
So,
Yeah. Very important. Well, there's one more thing I want to do before we go, and
yeah.
it is my favorite segment. It's called 30 Seconds of Joy. So, for 30 seconds, and I have my timer,
All
you
right.
get to gush about, rave about something that you absolutely love. Anything you can think of that just brings you joy. It can be something silly, something serious, whatever. So, for 30 seconds, that's what we're going to do. So, think of time when you have your thing.
I got a couple things.
Okay.
So, what
Okay.
I'll say
Okay,
is,
wait. I gotta
oh,
do
sorry.
it. Okay, everybody, it is time for my favorite thing. You know what that is. This is 30 Seconds of Joy on the Soul Dope Show with Selina Dawkins. Starting now.
The first thing is my wonderful husband. He has been through my side through all the challenges that I have gone through and supported me 100%, uh, probably more than 100. And even with the endeavors that I've had, and even encouraged me to go into business for myself as well, as doors have opened. Oh, and the festival.
Perfect. Yeah, and that too. Well, thank you so much for coming on the show. I'm so glad I got to talk to you and learn more myself about what you got going on. So, congratulations on everything on year 3. That's a big deal.
And congratulations to you.
Thank you so much. So I will
with,
see
with
you
your
soon.
with
Thank
your venture, and
you.
wishing you all the support and the best, and maybe we can collaborate one
Yeah,
day.
I would love to. I would love to talk to you off the show, and
Mhm.
because
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it, Camille.
absolutely,
Yes.
absolutely. Have a great night.
The So Dope Show.